Yo, good morning, guys. My name's Tanner. Welcome to Crypto Bible. Hope you are all doing well. First upload for a few days, but I thought I'd just do another video for you guys because I know there's quite a bit of confusion in the market at the moment, and we're still pretty much stuck in this range that we've been waiting to break for a pretty long time now. In fact, we spent the whole September down here in this range, and it doesn't really come too much as a surprise as September has always been a terrible month for crypto in general. And obviously, it was a dip that we were expecting, but obviously, when it comes to timing so hard to predict in crypto. It's just something people shouldn't do. But literally the whole month we have spent down here in September. Don't be surprised if we get out of this range today, the last day of September. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm just saying that it just would not shock me if we have some kind of crazy monthly close. So we'll wait and see how that plays out. I want to show you a few things that I'm personally seeing in the market, which can kind of, I've got like a bullish scenario and a bearish scenario. Whether or not one of them are going to happen, I don't know. It's so hard to judge what Bitcoin's going to do because there's so many things happening. It's very difficult. But anyway, let's dive straight into it. I'm going to show you exactly how I feel. I'm going to be as unbiased as possible to this because at the end of the day, I still believe we are bullish long term, regardless of whether or not we are going to have a scary dip or not, right? So this is just whether or not we're going to have the dip and then get out the range or just get out the range now and our bottom's already in. So let's get on with it. I'll start off with Bitcoin. Now, I'm zoomed in here on the hourly chart with Bitcoin, right? And there was something I was seeing here, which is pretty, this is the bearish scenario, basically, right? This is the bearish scenario. And what we see here is a clear head and shoulders pattern, right? First, what we'll do is get our neckline. This is our neckline right here. Clear support, by the way. So there's a lot of support in this area right here. But what am I seeing in regards to the head and shoulders? It's very clear to me. You've got your right shoulder here. You've got your head here. And then you've got your, sorry, that was your left shoulder, your head. And now you've got your right shoulder here, okay? And obviously, this is our neckline right here. And we have held it as support really well. In fact, we've bounced off it 4 times now, and we've had a pump this morning, okay, which was interesting. And this is the problem here. The market will always do the opposite of what people think. Now, people might think that this is now an invalid head and shoulders pattern. I can tell you it's not. It only becomes invalid once the pump breaks the head. So once this area gets broken, that is when it becomes invalid, right? So that is at $44,380. We didn't get quite up there. We got to $43,800 this morning. Okay, so literally the head and shoulders only gets invalid once we break the head. Otherwise, this is still in play. Okay, and one thing that we know, if I go over to the 4-hour chart, the area that we were expecting to come down into would have been anywhere between that $36,000 level, so down near 36.5 to basically $38,000. So we were kind of looking to come back around into this area. So if I now go back into our hourly chart and look at our head and shoulders pattern, how do we predict if this is a head and shoulders, what kind of targets are we going to get? Well, let me show you how to actually figure out. What you need to do is go from your head, right from the top of the head, all the way down to the neckline, okay? And that is how you predict your head and shoulders. Then you go from your neckline, 2 seconds. Then you grab this, you go from your neckline and place it down right there, and that will give you your target. And our target is $37,200, and that also brings us down into this red box as well, okay? So looking at this from a target point of view, it makes sense. Okay, from a pattern point of view, it makes sense. I mean, even on a 4-hour chart, it actually looks a bit more clean, right? There's your left shoulder, your head, and your right shoulder, and you calculate the target by going from the head all the way to the neckline, place it down below, and that right there will give you your technical target. So if this is correct, if this is what we are doing, then honestly, we would have to expect a pretty scary dip to come pretty soon. And that dip would take us anywhere between, well, in my box where I predicted anywhere between 36.5 to 38. And this right here is taking us right into the middle of exactly 37. So it would make sense for this to happen. So this is my bearish scenario, okay? Obviously, what we need to realize is that there's so many people expecting 37k. Everywhere I look on Twitter, it's all 37k, 37k, 37k. Everyone is expecting us to come back down into this area. And like I said, the market will always do the opposite of what people are thinking. So is it going to do it this time, or are we actually just going to see what we are expecting, what the technical targets are showing, what the patterns are showing? Okay. It's very difficult. I know someone in my Discord yesterday mentioned reverse psychology, and it's such a good point because like what will happen is people are expecting it to go to 37k, but then reverse psychology will tell you that okay, it's not going to happen because too many people are expecting it. So a lot of people will be thinking that too many people are expecting it, and then you get reverse psychology on that saying okay, but if too many people are expecting it, maybe it is just going to happen. So you're like, oh my god. So I get it. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at for the bearish scenario. Let's get into the bullish scenario, right? This this is interesting to me. I've been looking at this for a few days now. Okay, if I zoom out on the 4 hour chart for you guys, you can see right here it's pretty clear. Obviously, we had a little bit of a breakout. Not too much though. It could have just been a few candles, but right there. But we've been getting clear bounces right here, okay, and on our trend line right here. Now, what's happened, if we go to the hourly chart, is that we broke out of this, which seemed to be a falling wedge, which I was looking out for, which actually ended up perfectly landing on this trend line right here, coming back testing it, breaking out. So everyone knows that whenever there's a breakout, you will always have some kind of back test, right? So even if it's like something like this, where you've got this is your resistance, cool, you break out, you back test it, then you go. Or you can have it something like, you're falling like this, there's your line right there. This is the example we're seeing here. You break out, you back test it, off you go. That's quite a big back test. You break out, you back test it, off you go. This is literally what's happened here. We broke out, we back test it, off we go. We've broken out of this trend line. Are we simply going to come back and back test this and off we go? I don't know. You can. This is why it's so difficult to chart Bitcoin because both of these examples look great to me. I must admit, they both look brilliant to me. Right? This looks better on the hourly chart. Obviously, it's very clear to me. Clear support right here. We bounced on it a few times now, and even though we had a few weeks up on this trend line right here, it's still quite clear that it's in that area. And what's obviously ended up happening is that we did break out of a small falling wedge here with a back test and a breakout. So all of this makes sense to me. This pattern is what is exactly what I would have been expecting. Obviously, the only way that this does become invalid is if we break below this now, right? So this right here would need to be our neckline right here, which would be at around $43,000, which we're kind of toying with right now. At the time of making this video, it's at $43,200. If we start breaking below right here, I'd expect to find some support here. Okay, that right there comes in at about 41k, and then if we actually end up losing 41k this time, that is when I'd actually be expecting us to go down to 37k. So it's a very difficult one to judge right now. Like I said, you can see there's two very clear bearish patterns in the head and shoulders, and a very clear bullish pattern in the fact that we've got a falling wedge with a breakout and a back test. So you guys can kind of make your mind up for yourself on that. It's very difficult to say, but there you go. Obviously, with the total altcoin market cap, we can see that we are in a clear falling wedge here as well. Clear support coming in here, clear resistance coming in there. So, like I said, man, this is why I haven't really been doing too many videos. Yes, I'm not really feeling great with the whole hip and everything, but I feel like if I do videos, I'm just going to kind of be repeating myself in everything that I'm saying, in the sense that we are still stuck in this range and there's not really too much else we can say. Cool, we've got the head and shoulders, looks very bearish. I'm, if you're going to push me, I'm leaning towards this because that is a very clear head and shoulders. And until that gets taken out the head, I can see this happening because the target area makes sense as well. If you're looking at it from the head to the neckline, and then obviously with the total altcoin market cap though, and the Bitcoin on this chart, these look bullish. So this is why I don't really do, I haven't done too many videos because at the end of the day, what we've still got here, guys, if I take everything off, is that we still have an ABC correction, and until the B wave is taken out, we cannot do anything. So once again, you've got your A, and this goes for every single chart, by the way. You've got your B and you've got your C. Okay, so it can do whatever it wants in here. Whether or not this is the final C or we've got to go lower, I don't know yet. But as I said, that B wave, that's not going to move. So until B is taken out, we cannot really do much. And the exact same thing goes for Bitcoin. Okay, let me show you again. With Bitcoin, you've got your A right there, you've got your B, and you've got your C. Whether or not that's the C, or we've got to come back deeper in here, whatever the C may be, like I said, the B isn't moving, and the B stands right there at $48,700. Until that gets taken out, we are again still just stuck in this huge range right here. It could do whatever it wants. We can't really do much. It's just a waiting game. The good thing is, this is the last day of September, and September, get out of my life. Seriously, worst month ever. So frustrating, so boring, but it's nearly finished. Okay, so at least historically, whenever September's been a crap month for crypto, October, November, December has been an excellent month every single time. October, November usually being the better of all of them, but even December's always been good as well. And looking at the charts and everything else is pointing towards that way as well. Now, the last thing I want to show is the DXY, because the DXY has also been pumping, hence why things are still very bearish for crypto. And what we can see right here with the DXY is that it is now entering a zone of big resistance, okay, coming in right here. You can see that previously it acted as huge support. So if I zoom in right here, this was a huge support level before we ended up bouncing much higher. As you can see, that support area right there triggered a massive surge in the DXY. However, ever since, it's also been a huge level of resistance, finding resistance there, arguably wicking up to near it there as well. And now we're approaching it again, okay? Now, what I'm expecting to come out of this, and we'll keep an eye out on this for the next few days, is that we will touch this area and actually roll over and start heading down. All right, this is what I am expecting. All right, so again, it's a very difficult one to really judge what's going to happen here. But if crypto is very bullish, I would be expecting something like this to come in. And we need a bearish DXY for crypto to be bullish. So if this is going to be the case, you can see that this ain't got that long. In fact, it could hit today. And what's today? Like I said, the last day of September. Do not be surprised if we see some kind of crazy action happening right at the end of the monthly candle. It happens all the time, man. I would not be surprised. So all I'm saying is, we're still stuck in this range. Expect the dip. I'm still bullish moving forward. Obviously, none of this is financial advice. It's just my opinion. But my expectations are that, we probably will see one last dip due to that head and shoulders formation. But I've still got now at the back of my mind, still got the fact that, Bitcoin is looking bullish on this sense, if we can hold that level. And the total altcoin market cap is also in a falling wedge, which does look pretty perfect to me. So again, it is just a waiting game. What one of these are gonna play out, if you guys want to let me know in the comments below, that'd be pretty cool. But we'll have to wait and see. This is what I'm looking out for the total altcoin market cap. If it wants to do something like that, great. It's still got some room to kind of fall here. Is that going to happen and then take Bitcoin down with it? How much is it going to take it down? I don't know. Is Bitcoin going to hit 37K? We'll just have to wait and see, guys. But, like I said, unbiased opinion. I've looked at both sides of the story. Expect both. And yeah, it's a wait and see game. Let's see what happens tomorrow. I'll try to do another video tomorrow, the first day of the month, because I'm probably expecting some kind of volatility today. One thing I wanted to just quickly point out is that once Bitcoin does have some kind of stability, alts are looking unbelievable. Even if I go to something like Trias right now, which is one of my main holdings, you guys can see Trias actually broke out today. And this was when Bitcoin just had some kind of relief pump. Trias acted very strong, huge volume coming in there, taking out this massive falling wedge that we've been in for a very long time. These were just wicks coming in here, but ultimately we've been stuck in this for such a long time. If I go to the 4-hour chart, you can see we're now poking above it. Can we close above it? We'll have to wait and see. But it just goes to show, this is just one example, yeah. But what I'm saying is alts really want to run, really want to run. You can tell. So once there's some stability in this market, once we are out of this range, I'm very excited for what's going to come after, because it's very clear to me what the alts want to do. So fingers crossed it can get done as soon as possible. Otherwise, it's just a wait and see game again. If you've enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and join the Discord. Link to that is in the description below. And I'll see you guys very, very soon. Take it easy, people.